across the middle to the tight end. Not enough for the first down. The Chargers will have to kick it away.
I think a good call by Edison right there, though. You don't want to throw an interception or have a crucial turnover at this spot on the field. You're going to have to make, in order for the other team to score, you're going to want to make them drive as far as possible. In this case, 3rd and 15 or 16. I think that's a good decision.
Dave White's a little bit frustrated right now, but his team has a 1-point lead over John Barnes Griffins. 21-20. Edison, we're done with 3. We're coming back. Let's quickly go down to Brian Mitchell.
Thanks, Jim. Coach Dave White of Edison said that coming into the season, they picked 4 key games on their schedule that were critical to their success this season. Capo Valley, Esperanza, Fountain Valley, and tonight's game against Los Alamitos. The Chargers are 0-2-1 in those games, and this is their last chance at winning those so-called big games. Well, they're looking like they might get their first one tonight. Guys, back to you.
All right, Brian, thank you. David Yance to kick for Edison. A bad kick off the side of his foot. Now, Los Al's putting a lot of pressure on the kickers all night long. And it's starting to pay off. A first down near the 35-yard line. As we begin the 4th quarter. Interesting here at the vet. If you've never been here, it holds about 10,000 people if you put them on top of each other, but it's all on one side. There stands only on one side here. Los Alamitos, the home team, elects to take the sideline with no stands. If you look at Blazek, 176 yards. Blazek going to add to it. Blair Havens. Havens has got a step. Havens tripped up from behind inside the 10-yard line. Going to put Blazek way over 200 yards passing for the night, and that is exactly what those guys needed.
What an outstanding throw by Zach Blazek. He drops back. He actually looks the defense off and just throws a shot in between the seams. A very dangerous but effective throw. Lets Havens do the rest. And that was just an outstanding throw by Zach Blazek. There's nothing else you can say about that. And Havens just looking for the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but they are in business down at about the 6-yard line.
John Moose saved the tackle for Edison from behind. They were chasing him for the last 15 yards, and they finally caught Blair at the 6. 1st and goal. And Los Alamitos a bit of...
But he's such a big target. He's only a junior, so look for him to come back next year and have a big year also.
Los Alamitos just has had so many great quarterbacks and wide receivers, and they've actually had a lot of big people come through here too, big linemen, but the skill positions always get the pub, and it's been impossible to ignore Los Alamitos. Again, there's that jumbo backfield. See if they go to Godfrey. Off tackle right. Here it comes. Godfrey from the 6-yard line. Los Al back in front.
So that jumbo backfield for Los Alamitos paying dividends. Once again, they move Bernard Riley to the fullback position, and you get a chance to see the ambulance. There's an ambulance here, not to treat anybody, but just to have the siren go off after every touchdown for Los Alamitos.
26-21. All right, Coach, what do you do now? You go for the 2?
Well, I think in their situation, not only do you have to go for the 2 to try to get the lead back up to 7, but they don't have a kicker. So in either case, you go for 2 in this situation.
Well, 3 times they've had this jumbo backfield. 3 times they've gone off tackle right. They fake it this time. Blazek's got Havens wide open. 2-point conversion, 28-21. So they got it back. And I'll tell you, Blazek threw a pretty lazy ball out there.
He did. He put that excitement and anticipation into that throw. But it was a great call because, as you mentioned, they've gone to the jumbo backfield. They've ran right 3 times. This time they fake it and go to a wide open Havens in the end zone. And we still have a ball game.
28-21. Take a look at it again. Here's the touch.
Well, it's off tackle right as you see the big jumbo backfield. Guys just opening up the big holes, Havens with his vision. And then they come back, the counter to that play. They play action fake, wide open in the end zone. 2-point conversion, a little face mask. They let that one slide, though.
Havens got it on his shin, too. He's probably yelling at Blazek, give me the thing. The ball was just dying. He could feel the defense coming. Godfrey on the sideline. Talking to the medical staff, but I think he's okay. He just looks winded. He's drinking some water. Havens. Oh, yeah, no problem, Blair.
Well, Gottfried has to be winded. You know, as we talked about, he is a receiver moving into the backfield, and it's just a whole different type of repetition, a whole different type of stamina when you play running back. You know, every down something is going on, so he has to be winded at this point anyway. He's already had at least maybe 15 carries.
54 yards, just 2 plays, and of course, it was Blair Havens, that big slant up the middle. He avoided the quarterback and was gone. Dragged down at the 6. And Godfrey took it in from there, and then Havens on the 2-point conversion. Gowa off his chest, picks it up at the 15. Good coverage by Los Alamitos. Now see, they are fired up now. 11:24 to play. The Griffs back in front, 28-21.
Well, it's obviously a do-or-die situation. Now both teams are going to start to feel the tension of the importance of this game as it starts to wind down. As you mentioned, the emotion Los Alamitos is showing now that they got some momentum. We'll see how Edison can respond. Remember, this is a veteran Edison team. They've been in this situation before. We'll see how they respond right now.
4 lead changes. The game's been tied twice, not counting 0-0. Handoff, nothing. Jason Rodriguez from his defensive end position.
Now, Riley was also there, and, you know, we talked about the last place you want to test the defense is in the middle. They've been going pretty much off tackle and sweeps the whole night. That has been where the success has been for Edison. I think that's where they need to test them because the 2 big 300-pound defensive tackles for Los Alamitos are very tough to move out of the way.
Riley and a Tuatasi. Tuatasi. There's Pope. Derek Pope gets a lot of it back. It's going to bring up 3rd and short now for Edison. Now it's been Godfrey for Los Alamos. It's been that guy, Derek Pope, for Edison.
They both have been working overtime, but this time Edison tests the perimeter of the Los Alamitos defense. A little bit more success out there. Get Pope in the open field where he can use his quickness and ability. Nice positive gain of about 8 right there, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and short and a very tough call right here for Edison.
3rd down and 3. Oh, hit immediately. Not going to get it. O'Reilly is there. Tuatasi is there.
The decision now shifts to Edison. It looks like they will punt the ball.
Yeah,
as opposed to going for it. You're too deep in your own end to take a chance like this at this point. There's plenty of time on the clock, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. So punt the ball and try to play some defense.
Dave White getting in the face of Paco Windraft.
Emotions are carrying all over the place right now.
Kick away, Godfrey feels it at his own 47. Cuts up to the 50. Timeout on the field, 9:20 to play in the game of the week. Los Al up by 7. And let's see what Los Al can do. I'll tell you, they have all the momentum right now. They have the ball just on the Edison side of the 50, and they can drive down and put one in. There's that big backfield again to Godfrey, but now Edison knows where it's going.
Los Alamitos, as you mentioned, went to the big backfield, I think in an attempt to wear down probably a tired Edison defense at this point. They've been having to stop the run all night, and that they're trying to test to see how the effects of trying to stop the run has affected the Edison defense, if I got that out right.
I understood it. Manny Adams stepped up between the 2 300-pounders to make the play. Plays there. Again, the short drop, and he's trying to lay one out. Godfrey. Now good coverage by Edison again.
Bridges was right there again, and that ball went in and out of his hands. What a big momentum swing that interception would have been. Zach Blazek, probably one of his worst throws of the night because he threw it into double coverage trying to get it to Godfrey right there, but you see it's right in Bridges' hand. He just dropped it, and that would have been a big momentum swing for Edison. You can see he wishes he had that one back.
Good help by Bridges to recognize it, keep his eye on the quarterback, and came back. 3rd down conversions. LaSalle 2 of 7, and Edison without one so far. End around, Blair Havens dives for the marker. Going to be close. He needed to get just inside the 40. see where they mark it. Look at Barnes. Barnes is working the refs. He's asking for a good mark, and he thinks he got one in. Yeah, they don't have to measure. That's a first down.
Right.
Barnes is over barking in the ear of the official.
Right, but this
said,
is...
right foot, right foot.
Right. And I'll tell you, this Los Alamitos offense, that was a great job by Blair Havens right there. He knew exactly where he needed to go for the first down. As you mentioned, he dove for the first down, and that's just the indication of good coaching, knowing on your players, so they know exactly what's going on and what the dynamics of the game are. Great run by Havens right there.
3 receivers, top of your screen. 8 minutes now. Los Al trying to put together what could be the wrap-up touchdown. They're up 28-21. And their defense has been doing a good job against Edison in the second half. Riley coming back into the game.
What do you think is coming here? They go back to the jumbo backfield. I mean, that is a big backfield, Jim. I think I can run, too. I think I can run behind that back.
6'3", 308 pounds. And Garto is in there. He's about 240. Second down and 7 from the 37-yard line. Blazek turns around to see all the beef behind him. They give to Godfrey, and for the first time they go off tackle left. Short gain. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
Well, an interesting call here. 3rd and 6, the 35-yard line. Needless to say, this might be the biggest play of the game so early. You get a chance to see Mark Roberts, number 64. 5'8", 191. Jim, he's the right guard.
What's he doing up there?
And, you know, he has done a great job tonight. That is where most of the yards on the ground have come for Los Alamitos, to the right side of the offensive line. And that is the man, or one of the men, anchoring it.
Well, Blazek calls timeouts. And I think Los Al has burned their last one. They are out of timeouts. And we still have 6:46 to play. We'll take one right along with the grips. Los Al on top, 28-20. And they do not have the ball. But a big 3rd down for Los Al. 3rd and 6. And Dave White knows he needs a defensive stop. He needs it now.
Okay, oh, here we go.
Well, this is a very veteran defensive, well, actually a veteran defensive and offensive unit for Edison. They start, of the 22 starters, 18 seniors. So these guys have been in this situation before, Jim, and they're going to need to draw on all that experience and, of course, their natural talent to pull themselves out of this one, down 7 with a crucial 3rd down facing.
And by contrast, Los Alamitos, a pretty young team, with the exception of their quarterback, Blazek, is a senior.
Big exception.
3rd down and 6, and they got that jumbo backfield again. They turn, they give to Godfrey. He needs 6. He doesn't get it. Good stop for Edison, but you have to be wondering if maybe Barnes is thinking, I have 2 downs to get those yards.
Exactly what he's thinking. He knows this is 4-down territory, so he sees it as, you know, 3rd and 6. You're getting 2 chances at it. I would imagine he'd go right back to the jumbo backfield, and of course, Godfrey again, and see if he can just break through the seam as he's done so often tonight.
Now it's 4th and 3, and they are going to go for it. Mark Roberts comes back into the game. You see him right there, 64. That's your guy.
That is my guy tonight.
Los Al 1 for 2.
They will go to the right over Roberts right now.
And he makes the call. And they got the beef in the backfield. Riley and Granto. They turn, they pitch. Godfrey. Oh, good pursuit by the Chargers. And Edison takes over.
By far the biggest play of the game for Edison, a big 4th down stop. Without that stop, they would have really been pressed as far as time goes. And I'm just surprised by the call for Los Alamitos. With all the beef in the backfield, they try to go wide. You see the sweep to Godfrey. He gets out there, but the big guys are in front of him, and they just aren't quite quick enough to get to the edge to make the key blocks, because they are, you know, as we talked about it before, 300 pounds. Great pursuit by Edison, turnover, and now Edison's chance to try to respond with 5:40 left.
Waters and Jordan for Edison with a good play. A quick throw on the outside. Corner. Short pickup. Clock running. Inside 5.5. Plenty of time for Edison. In fact, you know, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, we have 5.5. If we're going to score, we don't want to give the ball back to Los Al with any time left.
No, either team, but the biggest thing in this situation, of course, is to score. I think Edison needs to stay with their original game plan and give gives the ball to Pope.
Back to Borner. Borner breaks one tackle. Borner to the 45. Short of a first down. The 3rd and 1. Inbounds, clock running. 4:55.
By no means on Edison's part is this a presser situation or a hurry-up situation. They can just take their time and just try to put together one good last drive to try to tie the score. Jim, I told you earlier, OT. That's what I called earlier. I called OT.
Grady now with 6 straight completions, and he keeps it on the ground to Pope on 3rd down and 1. First down, Edison.
Nice second effort in there by Pope as he was actually hit before he got to the marker. The second effort, the last lunge. And from a guy standing at 5'9", that is a lunge.
Hard to believe.
For the first down.
JJ, that is the first 3rd down conversion for Edison all night.
Get a chance to see the off tackle play. Right there, he's actually behind the line of scrimmage, but that last little push got him across the marker. It's amazing that is their first 3rd down conversion.
With all the offensive success they've had, that is amazing.
But it also shows that they've also had a lot of offensive success not getting the 3rd down that often.
Guys in the truck, ISOing Jeff Hall in the huddle. A little foreshadowing, perhaps. Pitch to Darren Pope. Pope fires across the 50. He cuts back. He cuts back a second time. And finally, Godfrey wrestles him down inside the 20-yard line. Darren Pope, have a night, why don't you?
Darren Pope has saved the best for the end of the season. What an electrifying run right here. Pope is so quick, and once he gets to the edge, there's so much he can do. He has a great vision, as you see, break the tackle there, but right here, this cut right there, it forces Los Alamitos defender, and that one too, actually, to force 2 defenders to miss. Another big run by Pope, but when he gets to the outside edges, Jim, he's just so dangerous.
You know, a lot of people might be asking where Pope's going next year. Edison, he's only a junior.
That's the trouble for the defense.
And he's still going. Pitch out. Pope again. Pope. Is he in? Touchdown. And finally the official raises his hands. Well, everybody on the Edison sideline had their arms in the air. I needed the official word, JJ.
I understand.
I don't want to give it up. Oh, Pope.
What a night he's had tonight. Another great run, and it doesn't become hard for the coaches to make the play call when you got a guy just tearing things up as Pope has done.
Well, here's the critical play, really. David Yance on for the extra point, and last week against Fountain Valley, Yance missed a 45-yard field goal on the last play of the game, a tough one that he pulled left, and he wants a chance to win this one for Edison. Well, he's got him equal right now. We're tied at 28. Darren Pope, yeah, big smile on his face. You're not so tired when you find the end zone, are you?
And he's found it 4 times tonight. What a night. 25 rushes, 200 yards. He has been, needless to say, the workhorse for Edison.
You had to figure when you go down the schedules of these two teams and you look at all the close games they played, my goodness, Edison has lost 2 games by a total of 3 points.
Yeah, but, the thing that still surprises me is coming into this game, coming into the season, both teams with such high hopes. And as you see, they are very talented teams. It's going to come down to 3 minutes and 35 seconds to decide on who will go into the 3rd season, the playoffs, and who will have next week as their last game of the season.
Been here for 2 hours. We haven't done anything. Take a look at how the season has gone for Edison. At Capital Valley game at the beginning of the year, a tie. That was one that they really wanted. That was one of the big games that Brian Mitchell was alluding to earlier. And then they ran the table all the way down to Esperanza, and the Aztecs and Gary Meekup did a great job once Liga started. They lose that one by a point. They lose last week to Fountain Valley. Look at 27-26, 19-17. 2 plays, and these guys could be undefeated. And tonight, they're deadlocked with 3.5 to go. And yet, Dave White, still before the game came up, shook our hands, big smile on his face. Isn't this great? 5 plays, 64 yards, 2 minutes. And we talked about it. Pope got the touchdown. We talked about, did they leave too much time for Los Al?
Well, being down by 7, I mean, now that they're tied, it's easy to say there is a lot of time for Los Al to respond in this situation. But at the point when you're down by 7, give me the points, tie the score, and let's start the game over right now.
Darren Pope now with 200 yards and 4 touchdowns for Edison. Lowry. That's where the Grifsville starts.
The strategy for Los Alamitos, very very tough right here. You try to air it out and go to what your strength is, which is the passing game, which might leave Edison enough time for them to respond before the end of regulation, or do you try to keep it on the ground?
Look at you lobbying for OT. Now you're calling it regulation.
I still think it's going OT.
3:15 to go in the game. And a first down for Los Al. 3 receivers to the right. Plays it. Hands up the middle. Godfrey. Godfrey still on his feet. Godfrey, a huge gain. Still driving across the 40 to the 43. Well, if you're Los Al, you don't have a kicker. What happens if you get in field goal position?
I think that you're going to have to take a chance somewhere down the line. Somebody's going to have to kick it if they get in that situation. We get a chance to look at Godfrey. Nice cut. And you know, the thing about Godfrey, his vision is very good for a receiver moving into the backfield, as we talked about before. And he has really took this team on his shoulders and carried them to this point, Jim.
2:50. Go in the game. Blazek now back into the huddle. Thank God for 72 yards, and he wasn't even supposed to be a back. Again, 3 receivers to the right. Hand off. Nowhere. Jordan. Brandon Jordan. He's made about 5 or 6 big plays. He forced that interception early in the third quarter. John Barnes, 93, California State Coach of the Year.
What a program he has built here at Los Alamitos. You cannot discount that.
Blazek, there's that inside screen. This one went for a touchdown earlier, and it goes for nothing. 3rd down and 10.
Los Alamitos trying to get the ball into Keenan Howard's hands any way possible. He's such a game breaker. They just try to get him the ball in the middle screen or any type of short pass and let him do his thing. That time, Edison having nothing of it. That middle screen worked so effectively earlier for his touchdown. This time, they knew it was coming. As you see, the 3rd down conversion is 4 for 9. None bigger than this one right here.
Well, the clock's still running at 1:33, and Edison doing nothing to stop it. They have all 3 timeouts, Los Al with none. Remember, they wasted them earlier. This throw over the head of Godfrey, incomplete, 4th and 10, and you got to figure you're going to kick it away here, and I think they are. So Edison now going to get the ball back with about 1:15.
They'll have plenty of time on the clock. They'll have to drive a long way, but they will have the last chance to win this game before we go to open.
You keep talking about overtime. Go look that up in the book. I think we're getting word from the truck. There's only overtime in the postseason. Ball back at the 35 is where he kicks it. Jeff Hall, fair catch, inside his 30 at the 27. 30 yards on the kick. And there he is, David Johnson. Wouldn't it just be justice? And I'm not rooting for either side here, but this is a guy who missed what could have been the biggest kick of his life last week, and it was 45 yards. That's a really tough field goal for anybody, a little on a high school kicker. But if he makes that one against Fountain Valley, he talks about it the rest of his life. He missed it. He doesn't ever want to hear about it. He's got a chance a week later to redeem himself. Or really just get another chance at the greatest. Grady rolls and throws. Completes. Chris Lopez.
Nice job of Grady getting outside contained that time. Get a chance to look at it. He breaks contain so he can have a nice clear vision down the field and throws that one on the run, a strike. Out of bounds, stops the clock, and that is the one thing that Los Alamitos is going to have to defend is the sidelines and the deep pass in this situation because they have to have the clock running this situation.
4 receivers now for Edison, 1:14. Ball thrown 41. They still have all 3 timeouts. Quick look inside to Hall at the 45, fighting to the 48-yard line. Clock running. Does Dave White burn a TO now? Yeah, he is. With 1:05.
Hey, get the defense, Tommy! Tommy, this game's not over, please!
It looks like Edison will take a timeout. And as you mentioned, Jans, this game might come down to his foot.
It's right here.
Los Alamitos, though, they have to try to keep the ball inbounds as they did on that last play to force the clock to run and force Edison to burn the timeout so that it'll make it a lot tougher for the special teams unit of Edison to get on the field to kick a field goal.
Oh, there you go. That's the way the Sunset League stands right now, but that's all going to change in 1:05. Esperanza undefeated at the top, then Fountain Valley and Marina, and there they are, Los Alamitos and Edison. Obviously, the winner is back in the playoff race, but not yet. The top 3 automatically get into CIF, but the 4th place finisher needs an at-large bid. There's no way both of these will go, and it could come down to the foot of David Yance, who stands. Apparently, he's all warmed up and ready to go. And that 45-yard field goal is somewhere in the back of his mind, that one against Fountain Valley last week. And you know he's saying, I just want a chance. Just give me a chance. One more. Brady, 7 of 7 in the second half. Looks and throws. Howry is there, picks it off. Is he in? Yeah, that's a turnover. Los Al ball.
Well, Los Alamitos going crazy as you would expect. What a great play by Howry on the sideline. Made a great catch earlier in this game, and that was just another outstanding play. A big turnover, and now the momentum shifts to Los Alamitos, who now has 56 seconds to try to get themselves in position. Grady, as you see, scrambles out of the pocket here, tries a touch pass, but he just doesn't get it up high enough, or actually might not have estimated Howry's athletic ability. What an outstanding play by Howry on the interception. And Jim, here we go. Los Alamitos.
Now Los Al gets their shot. Dave White, he wants that one back. He still has 2 timeouts on the board with 56 seconds. That drive was going just the way he wanted. The Los Al sideline is electric. They turn, they give to Godfrey at the 45, and once again it falls on the shoulders of the Edison defense.
Right, the Edison defense has come up so big tonight, especially in the passing game. In the second half, they have pretty much shut down the Los Alamitos offense. It'll be interesting to see what Blazek will choose to do here. When he takes, he's going to have to take a shot down the field. When will it come?
Yeah, I think it's coming right now. Blazek, good protection. Scanning the field, he's going to chuck the rock. One-on-one. Coming back and making the catch. Is it Howry?
Howry again.
It's Howry all the way across the far sideline. Shrouded in fog, he comes back, makes the catch. Los Al, no timeouts, 24 seconds.
They most likely will try to spike the ball in this situation to stop the clock and sort of calm down everybody at this point, I would imagine. Remember, this is a very young Los Alamitos team.
Let's see if Blazek just kills it. And he does. 20 seconds now. The ball on the 18-yard line. And on the Los Alamitos sideline, there's a guy wearing 2 9s, Mike Hill. He was the kicker when the night started, but he's hurt. Here it is again.
Well, we knew the shot for Blazek had to come deep, and who better to throw it to than Howry? Great coverage, actually, for Edison, but Howry just goes up and makes another outstanding athletic play. This kid can really play, Jim, and he has made 2 big plays, obviously the biggest plays of the season this far for Los Alamitos.
And just a junior is Howry. He'll be back again. Another great receiver, John Barnes. Blazek, talk it over.
You know, this whole receiving corps for Los Alamitos, except for Blair Havens, will be back. Of course, they'll have a new quarterback in Ryan Hansen next year, a junior, but he's another good prospect, so this offense will stay potent even next year.
3 receivers and Godfrey, and a whistle. Flags, delay a game maybe against Los Al, and that's critical. And I would say that the Los Alamitos coaching staff, they have to share some of the responsibility for that. They took their time. I think they were figuring after they spiked it, they had more time than they did, but the play clock is still running. They took too long to get the play down from the press box to Barnes, to Blazek, to the huddle, to the line of scrimmage, and the ball snapped, and it cost them 5.
Exactly right, Jim. With all the emotion, they're trying to calm him down, but as you mentioned, they took too much time to get the next play off. There still was only a normal play clock, not a timeout.
Trips right. Blazek. Down the middle to Havens. He turns off his hand. Incomplete. 15 seconds.
Los Alamitos obviously going for the touchdown. They're not going to rely on the field goal in this situation. We mentioned before, Mike Hill, number 99, is out of the game, or at least he has been out of the game to this point. A touch pass right there by Blazek, just missed, and I know he wish he had that one back because he actually could have got that ball in over the defenders, but a very, very tough throw.
15 seconds to play. There is no overtime in the regular season. It feels like a playoff game, and of course in the playoffs there's an extra period. They go in the corner to Godfrey. No chance. Good coverage. Again, Edison, the secondary's done a great job with the Chargers tonight. 10 seconds to play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, they can't pick up a first down at about the 7 or 8 yard line.
They got to throw in the end zone.
But at this point, you got to go down the field.
Yeah.
You know, if they do pick up a first down, though, they would be able to probably get down there and spike it if they could get down there quick enough. But you're right, Jim, they got to go to the end zone. Oh, they're going to try a field goal here, and a very long field goal.
They are going to kick one?
It'll be Matt Abrams.
Matt Abrams is going to kick it. It's a 40-yard field goal to win the game. The kick is up. It's straight. It's good.
Jim, it can't get any more dramatic than that. Mike Hill, the starting kicker, not able to kick due to injury. Matt Abrams fills in the emotion for Los Alamitos, tells it all. And I'll tell you, that ball looked like it might have even hit the back of the crossbar when it went through. You get a chance to look at it. It's a nice kick. You're surprised why they didn't kick the extra point before, but watch this ball. Oh, it actually hit the backside.
Well, where's he been? Oh, that's great form.
Great form.
Watch the reaction. Because he doesn't know until right now.
What did he...
Well, that's a great moment, but I'll tell you what, on the Edison sideline, how bad is it going to get for these guys? They lost by 1, 2, and now 3 in 3 straight weeks. How do you come back from that? And they may have just seen any hopes of the postseason fade away.
It has been one of those years for Edison, a very, very talented team. Of course, always in football, you need breaks. They obviously haven't had the breaks. Los Alamitos this time is going to look like the one to do them in with a 40-yard field goal to win the game. Just unbelievable in high school football.
You know, there's some controversy on the Los Al sideline right now because they couldn't find the tee to kick off. Because he's not the kicker. They'd already put the tee away. They were done scoring tonight. They were digging through the bags over here. It looked like customs at the airport. 4 seconds. The tee is packed away. It's in the equipment truck.
And what's even worse now, I don't think they can find the ball. So they're not...
Just put it in play. 31-28 Los Alamitos. And it's not an unlikely end because all you have to do is look at the way the season has gone for both of these teams. You knew it was going to be close. And if you had to guess, you'd say, oh, Edison will lose another heartbreaker. Right. It's been the story of their season. Another crusher for the Bulls. 4 seconds.
What an outstanding game we have seen tonight. The only downfall about this game is both teams actually deserve, you know, that is just salt in the wound at this point, just a sign of the frustration that they have gone through, not only this game, but this year.
And Abrams is going to kick off. I wonder if he's ever done that. And just tell him to kick it on the ground. He does that. 4 seconds. See if Edison wants to lateral this thing a couple of times. Loose ball put down. No time on the clock. Los Al has won regardless of who comes up with the loose pig. That's it. It's over. Los Al beats Edison 31-28.
So you can see the emotion for Los Alamitos, deservedly so.
We're getting word now that is the first kick of the year for Matt Abrams. 1 for 1, 40 yards, game-winning kick, and he keeps the playoff hopes alive for Los Alamitos.
And he just
the Griffins beat the Chargers 31-28. The long year continues for Edison. That is going to do it. A reminder to join us next week on the Game of the Week. Ayala and Diamond Bar at Cal State Fullerton. A good one. Another tough one for Edison, JJ. How do they come back from this?
A tough one. As you mentioned, it is a tough one for Edison, but two great teams. Unfortunately, one had to fall tonight. Los Alamitos, of course, will move on. Looks like they go to
Mark Shaw, the producer. For John Jackson, Brian Mitchell, I'm Jim Watson. Thanks very much. We'll see you next week on the Game of the Week. Ayala and Diamond Bar, Cal State Fullerton.
There is no better gasoline than Arco. It is rigorously tested at every stage. It meets the highest quality standards in the lab.